Feds and other miscellaneous vigilantes. Welcome to the Collider Arrow Recap Show. Yes, I am standing in just like a steadfast vigilante sometimes has to stand in for his mentor. Ann is gone this week, but don't worry. I have plenty of arrows in my quiver that we're going to make sure that this show goes fine. Let's introduce our awesome band of other heroes that are here to help us talk about episode 20, Genesis, tonight. Starting off with the man who wears the color of his favorite superhero, Josh Macuga.
That's right, Jason. I'm the only one wearing green tonight, and I would really like to compliment you on the amount of puns you jammed in that intro. That was super well done. I'm impressed.
Bravo. And next to him, it's the master of DuckTales, David Griffin, joining us.
Thanks for having me back, guys. No one can replace lovely Ann Campy. I'm feeling a little deceived. I got the call from Dennis, said, David, I need you to come help me cover for Ann the Arrow show, and he told me that we were going to be doing an X-Files rewatch. And I thought we were going to do it in season 1, episode 1, and we're doing Arrows, so I don't know. I'm a little unprepared tonight.
And next to him, wearing the color of his favorite sidekick, Michael Medina.
What's up, guys? What better title than Genesis for this episode? Because we got so much information about Oh, wait a minute. We did not.
Well, they did make a Phil Collins joke tonight.
Truth.
They did. So they
channeling their inner
They finally
Macuga.
saw Josh's tweets.
So it's Arrow Recap Show 451 Genesis jokes. The actual Arrow show
One.
So.
All right, so let's hop into the actual Genesis, not Phil Collins, the Arrow episode, and let's talk about overall, what did you guys think about tonight's episode? Let's start with the guest, David. What did you think about tonight's episode?
Ooh, I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
That was good.
David.
Quivers, Phil Collins. Was even a Harry Potter reference tonight. This is great. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I liked, I don't know. I really liked, I'm going to say that I really liked all the, I'm blanking on her name for some reason. I don't know. In
Pleasantville.
Pleasantville. No, Pleasantville
Thea.
scene. Thea.
Oh,
I
Thea.
enjoyed. I don't know why I blanked. Sorry. I enjoyed all the. See, I'm in X-Files mode right now. No, I enjoyed all the Thea scenes with Tim Tebow Jr. There's a lot of good moments in this episode. Of course, the Diggle brother dilemma was nice. A lot of tension. No flashbacks. And of course, we got the Fortuna too. The magic stuff was great as well.
Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, this whole half season since the break, I guess, has been really hit or miss, especially like
Which
the B
break? Because there's been two.
I guess since the most whatever.
The most recent one.
Let's just say we've been in a bit of a rut, and I thought that this episode kind of got us out of that rut. I wasn't even a huge fan of last week's episode, so the fact that we got this week, what we got this week, finally we got the go between Andy Diggle and John Diggle is over. I hope. I don't think bring Andy Diggle back again. It's like if I see Andy Diggle one more time, I'll freak out.
I liked last week's episode a lot. I thought that was their first episode. I'm like, all right, they're starting to hopefully finish strong. This episode, I thought, continued that. It was really good. I like the whole Diggle thing, Diggle Jr. It's funny, when I was, I don't know how many G.I. Joe fans are out there, but I was thinking of like the whole Springfield episode. If you guys are G.I. Joe episode fans, then you know what I'm talking about with the whole Thea being in this like fake city or whatever. I just thought about that, but I like that a lot. I'm G.I. Joe. David's X-Files, I'm G.I. Joe.
You're mine with the G.I. Joe, not Truman Show on this.
Yeah.
Okay, all
Crazy, right?
We all kind of screamed out Truman Show.
We did scream
Yeah.
Truman Show. Guys, I thought this was a really strong episode, one of the strongest of the season. And I think primarily the fact is because this was the first episode that I felt that Damien Darhk was a true threat. Because in all these other previous episodes, we'd go up against Damien Darhk. Oh, I stopped the arrow. Okay, I'm around ever, But in this episode, there was interplay. Like, he was tricking people. Like, there was a whole, like Andy Diggle was the trick. And then, like, Oliver actually had a weapon that he could use against him. I thought Damien Darhk stepped up to the plate, knocked it out of the park, and so much so that I wish that we had seen this episode earlier in the season instead of at the end. I mean, the opening scene, he killed the entire council.
Yeah.
It was a great opening when he came in and said, like, I brought my posse with me and all that. I thought that was fantastic.
And he stops the bullet like Neo.
Yeah.
He makes a bunt cake joke.
I love when the woman's running away and he's just like, and breaks her neck.
And no one in
breaks
the
her neck.
background even notices or
that was
flinches.
the best. Guys are just like, still, I'm on my Facebook.
Seriously, where's this Damien Darhk been all season?
Yes.
Because he's been very hit or miss. There have been some episodes where he's been pretty strong, others when he's just there, and then others where he's just not even there at all. And this is a strong Damien Darhk. He was funny. He's scary. He's very intimidating. I hope we see this throughout the season.
I feel like the strongest episodes of this season have been when Damien Darhk's at his best. Hasn't been anything else.
Yeah.
When Damien Darhk's at
When
his
he's
best.
a true threat.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, speaking of how he also used the threat of Andy Diggle, and there were a lot of emotional scenes between the Diggles. What did you guys think about, I guess you could say, the final resolution of the Andy Diggle storyline? Because, I mean, if you're watching this, hopefully you've watched the episode. Andy Diggle is now officially dead. We hope. Well, we see him get shot, and
We
he's
saw
dead.
the close the eyelid
Yeah.
scene. That's always
Yeah.
That's always
So-
important on TV.
So what do you guys think about the anyone on the panel? What do you think about the resolution of the Diggle storyline? Finally, 4 seasons down the line, it's finally resolved.
You know, I don't know. I think it's kind of bittersweet a little bit because like way back when he was just like, my brother in season 1
Yep.
when he was dating his ex, were they married? I can't remember if Diggle's brother was married.
I know he said he had a wife and a kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
married.
But
That's
I
right,
was
they
thinking
were.
several years removed, so that's why John was like, "I'm going to take you to Big Belly." You remember she was the waitress at Big Belly Burger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, so I really liked that storyline. I cared about that. But then for it to end up being where he's just an asshole, anyways. You know what I mean? And then you kill him in the end. And how many times, seriously, did Diggle have to pull his gun out only to be like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to shoot you right now." I was like, "Get a little old. Just shoot him already. Shoot him."
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it.
I think that's why I had to break down in my intro portion, monologue, whatever you want to call it, because I'm so tired of this Andy storyline.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't care how evil you are, unless you're friggin' what's his name from Game of Thrones. The guy that
Which
kills-
one? So many.
No, I don't want to spoil it. Never mind, I don't want to say it. But sorry,
The Game of Thrones recap shows on Sunday.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, though? Is he really going to insult
we?
his brother and then think about it? You know what? I'm not going to spoil it. Think about what I'm about to say here. He's going to really threaten his brother's daughter.
Okay.
And then his brother's wife. Like he's that.
Yeah.
Come on. At least he's going to threaten John. But he's not going to be like, I'm going to take out a 2-year-old. Blah. Come on, Diggle. It's so stupid. I hated that part. But I'm so glad that he got shot. I wish Diggle would have shot him in the face, man. It's out. I don't care. You've had 4 years. Your brother's already been dead once. Now he's threatening your family and your daughter. Put a cap in him, man. It's over. Sorry for yelling.
I like the dilemma. I think it was real. I felt it. It was like Michael. You're right. There was a lot of pulled out the gun, little conversation like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? But he pushed him so far because him and Oliver. I can't tell if they're killing people or not killing people because sometimes Diggle's be firing his gun.
We've had that argument all the time
Right.
because Spartan, as they call him, has been shooting people left and right this
Right,
season, and
yeah.
it's kind of like, well, I hope they're rubber bullets.
Yeah, we can't tell.
But then a rubber bullet couldn't kill Andy. I don't know.
But I'm glad that I think he pushed him too far. We go with the whole talk about Batman all the time. Batman, Joker. Most of the time, Joker still lives. He gets through, goes to Arkham, whatever. But I mean, I think you push him by so far. Like if you're never going to back down, he had no other option. Now, the only thing I was confused about is when he was telling the story to Lila. He was talking about how Andy reached for his gun and he had no choice. I thought he just turned around and just shot him.
He did.
Yeah.
So was he kind of was he?
Oh, yeah.
He's
Deceiving? He was
lying.
deceiving.
Well,
Okay,
because
all right. I was
they
just making
said-
sure I didn't miss that.
This is the reason why I like this episode because we had Damien Darhk be such a badass this episode, and then on the opposite side, we got to see how much Laurel's death is affecting Diggle. Like he's not thinking. There was that scene in the alleyway where he's like, "I'm going after," her, and Lila was like, "Wait for backup."
Yeah.
Good God, But he was like, "I'm going out." He showed up all bloody, and she's like, "You're gonna get yourself killed." I actually thought the interplay was really good, and I didn't have a problem with it. I agree with you. I was tired of Andy. I would have been officially done with this storyline if they had dragged it on one more episode.
Yeah.
But because it comes to a resolution and it ends in such a strong character moment, like now John just lied to Lila. He probably lied to Oliver. We can take that implication as well. But that scene between him and Oliver where he's just like, man, I spent 4 years looking for this guy. And I basically had to pop him
Now he's a
because
jack,
he was
yeah.
like, I'm never going to stop. I am going to kill your wife. I am going to kill your baby because Genesis, the magic corn, is coming.
It seemed like Lila would have forgiven him because she said, he stopped being your brother a long time ago after he told him. So I think if he would have told the truth, I don't know if it's going to play out in the future.
Yeah, I don't know what the
Different-
point
yeah,
of
what the
it
point
was.
of that was. Yeah, maybe there was no point to it.
I could see, like I said, and I put this out before in the show, I think that this is leading into us going into the next season, Oliver alone. I think Diggle this is just going to wreck
You've been
him for
saying
the
this
next
for
few
a couple episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think this is going to make Diggle separate from Oliver.
That's what I really liked about the scenes in Hub City in the casino, which is the Vegas of
Just Oliver
of
by
this
himself?
Universe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oliver and Felicity, but really, just those two, which is how it all started, really. Anyway, with a little bit of Diggle. I really like that idea. That gets me excited because obviously when the whole team is there, every episode in his Avengers thing, and you're like, oh God, there's just so many people and storylines. I will say that I'm glad that he shot him in this episode. Obviously, I'm glad that because I've said it, and I'm glad that it ended this episode. I would have liked he shot. He was like, oh. And then he cuts and he looks at him and then he just cracks him again one more time for good measure. That's like a John Wick moment.
Just
I
make
would
sure
have
you
liked
double
John. Listen, I want the dude to be dead, double him up, burn the body.
You got to double down on the dead Diggle.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
like I said last week, I actually like
so many D's. So many D's.
I like the broken Diggle. I like this. He's been this rock, this
The
pillar,
damaged
this-
Diggle.
Exactly.
More
damage
D's.
Diggle.
Keep
Gotta
going.
cram him in there. No, but I like this Diggle simply because of the fact that, like I said, he was this rock for this team for so long. And I know, like, I always liked the character, but I always felt like he was just there. Didn't really have that much to do. Even when they would try to, like, incorporate him into a storyline, this is kind of whatever. But the fact that, like, he's just completely broken down. This guy he was always Mr. Reliable. It's broken
was
down.
the rock for the first 2 seasons. Yeah,
and
yeah.
now the fact that he's such a wild card now, which makes perfect sense for him to, like, at the end of the season maybe go off. It's like I got to step away. I can't do this. I like that.
Well, it could even lead to the thing where that Lila, I thought, had a very important speech about it, where she was like, "You're going to get yourself killed." I could easily see Diggle next season doing the Oliver thing, like where it's him. He's just like, "I'm done with this stuff. I'm going off with my family."
Yep.
Let's talk about, speaking of going off, let's talk about Oliver in the casino. You brought up Hub City, by the way, DC Comics reference. The hero of the question is there. Go read the question. You've got to read it, by the way. It's really awesome. Good crime noir. But he meets a friend of Constantine. We drop a Constantine reference. I wish it had been Constantine.
me too.
But I thought the lady that played Fortuna was really cool. And by the way, I enjoyed the fact that we're opening up this world. They walk through a magic door, which is something that happens in DC Comics all the time. What did you guys think, Michael, about the magic training montage scenes?
I actually liked it. I kind of expect a little bit more. I think that they kind of wrapped that up a little too quickly, too conveniently. It's TV, whatever. I understand that. But still, I would have liked to have seen him struggle a little bit more. It was basically one training session, and that's it. And then, of course, in true TV fashion, when he's actually pushed to the, back against the wall, he just found that inner strength to, come out on top. But it was good. It was set up well. I would have liked them to have explored that a little bit more.
Just to counteract it, I thought that it was kind of like perfect timing because the second time she totally envelops him in the smoke monster from Lost. And
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry guys.
By the way, the Lost recap show, that's on Thursdays.
Thursdays, guys. Sorry
When's
about
the X-Files recap show? Come on, give me the right
Damn.
date, please.
So, and then he talks to Felicity about her being the light. So it's sort of like the Think Good Thoughts in Peter Pan, is he's getting his heart ripped out by the evil guy from Temple of Doom, and he's going sullen, and he thinks of Felicity, and then that's when he brings it back, because he's got the John Constantine tattoo, and it's all coming full circle. I really dug that scene. I thought finally we have like some sort of defense against Damien Darhk.
And I loved Damien's reaction when Oliver was actually like coming with the force.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I loved it. He's like, holy shit. It's like someone that can really challenge him and go toe to toe.
David, what do you think of Fortuna?
I loved it because it reminded me of Harry Potter. It's like when Harry Potter's trying to learn his Patronus charm, and all that darkness is coming at something that scares the heck out of you. You have to find something inside of you that gives you hope, that gives you light.
It's funny you say that because Flash this week had a Harry Potter reference.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought it was perfect. Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I'm glad that we have a defense. I actually really
Defense
like
against the dark arts.
the defense
teachers.
against the dark arts. Speaking
Nice.
of the D's, I loved the vision he had, where we saw Slade, we saw Merlin from the first season. I really wanted to see Tommy in that vision.
Yeah.
I really. I know he's busy on like this other medical show, but I really.
Chicago Med.
Yeah,
Jason.
he's on Chicago Med.
And the affair.
In the affair,
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. But I wanted to see Tommy in that flashback. I thought it was really great. I agree with you. I wish this had been maybe over a couple of episodes instead of
This
just
storyline
this episode.
I would have loved to have seen over.
I
a couple
also,
episodes.
same thing as Darhk, I felt that this scene should have been earlier in the season. We should have seen this like 5 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Now, if I may, in that vision montage, we saw his partner in crime on the island look as though she was either being possessed
got the yellow eyes.
or
Okay.
she was being killed.
Now, let's talk about that. So when Oliver gets hit up by Darhk, he repels him, and Oliver's eyes turn yellow. Now, in his vision, he saw the woman on the island, and her eyes turn yellow. That's something that we have not seen yet.
Yeah.
Now, do you think she's going evil? Or think she's going good?
Well, but in the last flashback, when the dude's choking him, his eyes go white.
Yeah.
So they're all like, as soon as that magic is,
It's gonna
harnessed
do something
by
to your
them,
eyes.
Yeah,
Interesting.
definitely.
Now,
It's
do you think Fortuna was using like some reverse psychology there? Remember she said very quickly, like, "Oh, you're never gonna get it. You're never gonna get it." Let's say we see her again, and Oliver's like, "Well, I ended up defeating my enemy," and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I knew you would," or something like that. I mean,
Yoda.
because she
like
gave
sort
up
of
on
Yoda
him real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dropped him pretty quick. But yeah, I'm curious to see, like you said, with the flash forwards, what's going to happen with On the Island, because I don't think we can all agree the flashbacks haven't been the strongest this season.
Yeah.
And we've
And
it was
actually,
nice not having
It was
them this
nice
week.
that I have them. It was
So
nice
I hope that maybe with this training montage, all we had in this episode, that's a good sign for the next 3 episodes that we have left.
Really nice to see Fortuna as well. Fortuna, my name is Josh. I host this Arrow recap show. If you're
boy.
single and you'd like to go out sometime, you can fight. You can watch me and Medina fight to the death for your love.
Speaking of fighting to the
I
death,
put you in the pit, dude. I challenge you.
let's talk about something else that I thought was really great in this episode: the action. The action was so on point in this episode. We got Oliver with I'm going to call it the chain yank arrow he used
was
on
really
Darhk. Diggle flying a motorcycle out the back of a semi-truck with a baby in the back.
Kevlar baby Bjorn in the
Kevlar
back.
baby
I
Bjorn.
love that like Jason Bourne moment that Diggle had with Diggle Jr. and the handcuffs.
Yes.
Yep.
Like that little move was really
That was
cool.
sweet.
Yeah, well, I attributed that. I was like, oh, Diggle's training with Team Arrow is paying off because he
Yeah.
took down all 5 of those dudes
Yep.
in minutes.
Yeah.
Or seconds, I mean.
And I was gonna go Point Break with the handcuff on the thing.
You know, you brought up the point earlier that you said that whenever we like these episodes, there's strong dark moments. I've also noticed we like them when they're strong action episodes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because that's how Arrow really defined itself in its first season, by like doing these crazy fights that you were just like, wow, like we don't see fights like this on TV.
Yeah, because we actually had people that were qualified and had training. In the last few, it's just been like kick, whack, whack, and then we have to believe that they can beat bad guys by doing that.
That's the thing when you watch a show like Flash. Flash is obviously all about the scientific aspect
Correct.
of things,
Yes.
whereas with Arrow it's more militaristic. He's got a team, and now so does Flash. But Arrow's team, they're all soldiers. They should all
Yeah.
these episodes should be action packed, at least for the most part. You know, not just talky or whatever.
Flash's team are all behind computers,
Exactly.
telling them what to do.
Exactly.
Arrow's team's all actually fighting militaristic
field.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Let's talk about as well Thea's storyline. Now we find out that she's trapped in the Truman Show and that she's in the secret chamber.
Springfield.
There we
Or
go.
the Dome.
Yeah, or the Dome. That she's trapped in some copyright infringement place that is beneath Star City. What did you guys think about this storyline? I actually, for a while, thought it was like going to be a vision and that she was actually in a real jail cell and that was like the fake world. I was kind of surprised when we found out at the end that it was a real place.
Yeah.
Josh, what did you think about baby Tim Tebow and Thea's Wonderland?
Well, first, when she wakes up in baby Tim Tebow's place, it's really nice for a dude that's just on like a politician's assistant salary.
Yep.
As soon as she starts freaking out, you realize right away that something's off. The music, you start hearing the patterns, and she's sort of going crazy. I'm with you. I thought she was going to wake up. But the fact that she did go Truman Show, because they're walking along a suburban street and nobody's running by.
Yeah.
All the houses look abandoned.
Yep.
It's like that movie. Did you ever see that movie with David Duchovny and Demi Moore, where they're like in a neighborhood and they're basically being paid by products? It's a weird movie.
Yeah,
You know
I remember
what
that.
I'm
Yeah, I
talking
do,
about?
yeah.
That recap show is on Sunday.
Sorry, guys. It's after Game of Thrones.
We have a lot of recaps.
A lot of
Hey,
recaps.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
recap shows here.
We're 24/7, guys.
It's the dark net of
Yeah.
Collider.
Is we have like this Ryan home neighborhood that's basically being built, but you don't see anybody else
Yeah.
in it, which is the creepiest thing to me. Is like empty neighborhoods.
Actually, the creepiest thing was that the fact that baby Tim Tebow, like, it was like, oh, let's go on a vacation and let's go to find somebody's weird house on Airbnb in suburbia.
Yeah. I don't know if I like this house. Like, shut up, this is our house. And then he's obviously taking his.
Let's do laundry.
You gotta give maybe Tim Tebow credit. Those eggs Benedict looked very good.
They
did?
really did.
Okay.
Now we
They
didn't really
looked
see him
yummy.
make the whole process. Did he really make those, or somebody
No.
make them for him?
Magic.
Also, too, I love like the whole. There's another show called which we're gonna have a recap show for later. Is Wayward Pines,
Yeah.
and it kind of reminded me of
right
We've
up.
talked more about every other show on TV than we've actually talked about.
But the mood was great. There was a lot of trickery. I mean, even when like I don't know if maybe Tebow was taking his vitamins. You know, he's not as big as his brother, so he needs to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah.
He wants to look like Tim Tebow. So maybe he was taking his vitamins. Maybe those were drugs to
Well, I know
sedate
those
her.
There's
are
a
the
hot
pills
pills.
that the ghost
The
ate.
bill, that's right. The
Everyone
ghost,
was
right,
saying,
right, yeah.
Yeah, the
So I
high
mean,
pills.
everything they kept doing, it's like, yeah, is this real? Is it not real? When she was about to call out that bark, I thought maybe the bark wouldn't happen. Like maybe somebody would,
Yeah.
program it or something. It was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Somebody falling through. No,
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it. Especially Tebow with always looking like he's constipated. Like, hey, Thea, I just it's just always got that look on his face, like, oh, I just don't know. It's like, come on, dude, seriously.
You poached eggs? Yeah, like it's hard.
Yeah, who doesn't poach eggs? Yeah.
No, but I agree with both of you guys. You guys pretty much all hit
Yep.
the nail on the head. It was good. It was fun. It's like it's really exciting. Hit that wall. Looked like it could have been corn. Just continuing to
There
tease
could
me.
be corn inside the wall.
It looked wilted. It wasn't look didn't look healthy.
Whatever.
It's a corn dome. They're living in a
The corn dome.
Corn dome.
Yep. All right,
Bio
before
dome.
we drop into the negatives, let's talk about the only thing we really learned about Genesis tonight, that besides it having a biblical metaphor
And
that
being
they,
an amazing band.
and an amazing band that they made the Phil Collins
And that's
reference.
no longer touring.
No longer.
Oh, there you go.
That's 3.
We learned that part of this plan is about Rubicon, which is Argus's thing to launch all the nukes or stop all all the nukes, and they think that they're going to burn all the world. What do you think about Rubicon? That this season is going to be about we're going to nuke the world and live underground with the mole people, possibly.
Well, we do a recap show of the old show Rubicon.
It was canceled way before its time.
It was canceled way before its time.
3 a.m. on
We're
Saturday.
still going to
3
recap
a.m.
that. We're going to recap
We're
it.
doing the whole first season 6 times in the next year, so you guys are welcome.
By the way, any of these recap shows, let us know down in the comments. All of them are being greenlit tomorrow. Rubicon. No, what did we think about Rubicon?
I mean, it's been done. I mean, that's basically what X-Men Apocalypse is going to be like.
Well, let me ask you this question: Do you think it was kind of done in the season 1 because that was what the guy in the island he wanted to shoot off these nukes at China and like ruin?
That's what Ray Shuggle's always trying to do. Like once the city reaches its zenith, we must take it down and then rebuild. From the ashes, something greater will come. I mean, it's just. We've just seen it before,
And that's my gripe with it. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Seems very like evil villain, like, I will blow up the world and take control. It's like, it's been done.
They've kind of sort of almost blown up They've blown up Star City like 3 years in a row. So now I think they're like, okay, we need to at least blow up the suburbs.
And this isn't there's a line in the X-Men Apocalypse show where it's like, from this, world we will create a better world. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Is something else out?
No, I agree with you. You're moving to Star City. It's like my husband just got a job in Star City. We're really excited to move there. And he's like, ooh, this part of the neighborhood was blown up 2 years ago. Now we're just trying to rebuild. We're not really sure.
Our insurance premiums are so high.
It's absurd. The first year it was all in the pipes and they sunk the city. The next year you're like, now we're in Genesis. We don't even know where these nukes came from. But
and there's corn everywhere.
But the school district is fantastic.
Be a realtor, you have to disclose that information when you're trying to sell someone else.
Now a ninja could break through your kitchen window and kill you at any moment. Are you okay with that? All right, we're gonna put down.
And also, whatever it's like the dome didn't look. It was big, but. I don't know if it was Truman Show big.
By the size?
Wasn't Truman Show big? I mean, how many people that hold?
I'm just kind of surprised by the hologram technology. I mean, I know we do live in a world where, I mean, well, I guess in this week's Flash, they used spoilers. They had hologram for the Flash. They're trying to trick Central City that the Flash was still around. So I guess I'm not too surprised. I don't know what to complain about. Let's talk about the negatives. All right, let's talk about the stuff that we didn't like in this episode. At first, I didn't like holograms. Now I do like them. So did you guys? Anybody have any things that you just really didn't like about this episode?
I think I started it when I said Genesis. I mean, I thought the name of the episode is Genesis. I thought for sure we're going to get some answers. We hardly got anything. Hardly any mentions. Nothing. That was disappointing for me. I wanted to see something. Just anything. Move me in that direction.
I think my negative was just that the entire episode between Andy and John could have been a lot cooler, I think, and instead was just sort of like an accidental shooting of his brother.
Yeah.
I really thought it could have maybe been like in a struggle with a strangle, or like, he hung him all, or like it could have been a little more violent than instead of just a gunshot.
Oh, and then also, and I missed this, but I know, David, you caught it. There was that Omega symbol that was on one of the street signs, was it? I think it was. I totally missed it.
When Thea is running around the fake dome.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's... You
we know
who that could be.
We still know nothing about Genesis. Yeah, it's
exactly.
Weird. My biggest problem in this episode, and I noticed that in all of the little Diggle scenes,
Little Diggle,
he had some weird dialogue. And the reason why I was so punny at the very beginning was primarily, and I wrote down some of his lines.
What are you going to play Gin Rummy?
Yeah, what are you going to play Jim Rummy? One time when older Diggle avoided one of his bullets, he goes, "Woo! You still got them moves, John." And he said it with that inflection, and I was like, what is going on here? Are we in a Jim Carrey movie? What? I don't know.
He can like bend bullets.
I felt like we were in Bad Boys 2. And then I missed this one, but Little Diggle also made like some joke about Jesus too. Like he made some Jesus joke line, and I was just like, what is going on with Little Diggle here?
He got dark quick. He's like, I'm gonna kill your baby.
He got dark with the
Diggle.
puns,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, all right, so
Bad
let's
Boys
hop
2.
into some Twitter questions, which you guys can always send us at the hashtag Collider Arrow. Let's bring the first one up and let's read what you got. Yasina at Yemat8S. Yes, I said Ye as a Y. Did you guys think the flow of the episode was better without the flashbacks? We did talk about this a little bit, but I want to pose the question along with that one. Great question, by the way. Do we want to see the flashbacks go away permanently next season?
I say no, not permanently.
Okay.
But don't rely on them as heavily anymore because clearly they have not been good for a couple seasons now.
Yeah.
So I like going a few episodes without any flashbacks. I think it was kind of refreshing actually. Halfway through when we were watching, it's like, wow, no flashbacks. This is great.
We said the whole time. I thought this episode was fantastic without the flashbacks.
Yeah.
The flashbacks since season 1 have not been the best. I mean, I always thought like, oh man, I can't wait till we find out how he gets off the island. He's already been off the island a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no.
He flies back.
He flies back. He's like,
He goes on vacation.
I hated that. Well, I'm going back.
Well, we know that we know next season we're probably gonna get flashbacks, and we're probably certain that Arrow's probably gonna get a season 6. I mean, I would be surprised if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Do we think season 6 no more flashbacks?
I don't think they need to be. They don't have to. They don't have to do them. I mean, I don't think they need to do them just because they've done something before in the past doesn't mean you need to do it. If there's a story to tell it. If you don't have a good story, it's like I think the story's kind of weak.
Yeah.
Then just cut it. Don't do it if you don't have a good story to tell.
I also think if you don't show a flashback every single episode, you can kind of drag that story out a little bit longer, so you can still have a flashback or two in season 6 and maybe a 7.
The funny thing about that is that in season 1, I think it was like episode 4 and 5. There are no flashbacks in any of those episodes because the producers very early on were like, we don't know if people are going to like these flashbacks. And then they took them out, and then everybody was like, no, bring the flashbacks back. And they were like, yes. I agree with the point you made, David. If there's a story to tell, because I kind of think in this season and last season, the flashbacks have taught us nothing.
Nothing.
Whereas in season 1 and season 1 it was all about learning about Oliver. And season 2 it was all about learning about Slade. Season 3 it just seems like, oh, so for a while Oliver played games with a little kid on the apartment floor of a Hong Kong apartment.
yeah, have you thought about that kid since that season?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sad the kid's gone. I don't
Yeah,
want him to die,
and
but
in
I
this
mean,
season, it kind of just seems like he got a weird mission for Argus, and now he's been like fighting with hillbillies and digging holes.
I mean, maybe this is.
Can we go back to real quick? David Griffin just saying, I mean, I like the kid, but
He should have died. Yeah, that's all right. We're never gonna get him as a guest in the show. So
Maybe this is wishful thinking, but it would have been nice to have had Constantine for the whole duration of the flashbacks. Maybe they would have gone on some sort of adventure because Constantine was, I think, probably we can maybe all agree was probably the best flashback or one of the best flashbacks
Yes.
this season.
Yes.
So to get them on an adventure would make a little bit more
let me
sense.
pose a crazy idea to you.
oh, here comes the Inman craziness.
What if they became flash forwards in season 6?
Legends of Tomorrow style.
Yeah. What if we start seeing like that timeline of 2041 and Star City is in ruins and the whole season's about like how do we stop this season from being ruins?
That's actually a good point because they kind of sort of did that with Who's in the Grave, and that did pretty well. I mean, it got us really excited and hyped and talking a lot about this. So I actually like that idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, here let's twist it even further.
Oh, here we go.
All right, instead of flash forwards, what if they
Flash
were
stills.
well, flash? Yeah.
We're right in the current moment.
No, flash PowerPoints.
Oh, yeah. Bang, bang.
No, what if there are flashbacks for other characters? What if the entire season?
Lost.
Yes. So what if the entire season we don't follow Oliver? What if like, okay, this episode we get a Diggle. This episode we get to see how Thea was without Oliver. This season, this episode we get a flashback on the villain. Like they changed different characters.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I'm cool.
Okay.
Yeah. I like
Cool.
that.
I'm
All
drinking
right.
that sauce.
So don't keep the same train. We want to change it up, basically.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. All right,
Yes.
let's look at the next Twitter question. Shane Saint Laurent, we're gonna say.
Saint Laurent.
I think it's Laurent.
Laurent said directly to Josh Macuga, if the last 3 episodes are this good, will the overall season be pleasing? So the question is, will season 4 be pleasing if the next 3 episodes are solid home runs? What do
Right
we
now,
think?
I'm sitting right here. I'm Joaquin Phoenix in The Gladiator, right
Caesar over
here.
Yeah, I was like, are you pressing a button? What are you doing here?
I'm Joaquin Phoenix. I'm like trending towards up. Right, like last couple weeks ago, I was trending towards down because the B episode really hurt me. But I'm like right here, right now. I could be going towards a thumbs up of the season.
Are you not entertained?
The kid is still dead.
See, for me, I can already tell you this season is already a hell of a lot better than season 3.
Yes.
It's not the strongest season. Season 2 is still my favorite, but it's still
Yep.
better. This season's had a
Would
lot of
would you rank it 2, 1, 4, 3?
2, 1, 4, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. And so no, for me, I'd say if it finishes strong, definitely pleasing.
Dave?
I agree. I think it would finish strong. It's tough. I mean, can 3 episodes save a season? But I would only say the other way if the whole season had been bad, but the season has been good for the most part. So I'm going to say yes. I think even if if 2 out of 3 were bad, I think it doesn't
Yeah.
mean if it finished strong, if the finale was strong, even though the next 2 weren't that great, I would still say it's a good season.
Well, if I may, there were moments in this episode, especially towards the end, where I thought the tension was really well done, and I haven't felt that tense since season 2.
Yeah, I agree.
I noticed
you
we were
know,
all focused on the
Yeah.
screen, especially the last part, especially
Yeah, yeah.
the training montage. We were all
Yeah.
glued
Yeah,
to the
well,
screen.
even I thought the scene with Diggle and his brother, like his grief and talking to Oliver, I thought, again, it was a scene that reminded me of season 2, and it was what the previous episode talking about Laurel reminded me of season 2. I
Yeah.
thought it was a great thing.
Absolutely.
So there we go. Let's talk about some predictions, and thank you all for your Twitter questions. But let's talk predictions. What do we think is going to happen over the next 3 episodes? And let's start with the guest right off the bat.
Oh, Griffin.de.
This-
Man,
David
keep
Griffin.
jumping at me. Like,
Yep.
Catch me off guard 'cause I was prepared for X-Files. We're talking about Arrow.
What do you think? What do you think we're going to see over the next 2 or 3 episodes? Or you can make a prediction for the finale because I don't know if we'll see you.
I'm going to go as far as saying, and Michael teased this as well, that I don't think that Omega symbol's there by accident.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get Darkseid necessarily, but maybe one of his emissaries. Maybe we're going to get a link to that.
Some other
world.
member of the New Gods.
Some other member of the New Gods. Yeah, I don't think that was there. I mean, they've dealt with that in Smallville.
Yes, they did.
So I mean, I know it's coming in the
Not
films.
well,
Not
but
well.
they
I mean,
did.
you can't just be punching planets. That doesn't always look good. But I mean, I think that we're going to see something from Darkseid or that universe. Maybe not this season. Maybe at the finale. Maybe the finale or early next season.
I'm going to jump on that and expand a little bit more. I'm going to hope, maybe.
He's gonna hope.
I'm going to hope.
Oh,
And
quit
maybe
jumping
Just
on
like
people's things.
just like
Your
Oliver,
own
he's
thing.
gonna hope.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna hope that maybe someone related or working with Damien might be a new god. Might be, maybe you might get to explore the fourth world a little bit, and maybe the lesser gods that that you're probably not going to get on screen anytime soon. Just something to explore this world. And I'm really looking forward to that.
Josh? Mole people?
Yeah, well, obviously more people, guys. I mean, that's
Well, that
a
goes without
given.
saying, right?
Yeah, mole people. It's gonna be there.
I'm really hoping that we get maybe some more magical.
Mystery tours?
Yeah, mystery tours, of course. No, some magical team ups. I really liked him going to Hub City, so maybe she comes and starts helping Oliver.
Fortuna?
Yeah, I'd love to see more. I mean, come on, Fortuna, what's up? I want to see that we're gonna get close. I mean, obviously they're not gonna let off nukes, but I'm really excited to see how close they actually get and who gets to go into Genesis.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
How do you get on that list?
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
I'm gonna throw out another crazy theory.
Yes.
I think that Thea is inside Genesis for a reason. Remember back earlier in the season where Damien Darhk
That
touched
bone
her,
structure?
Right.
and he stopped. In this episode, we learned that if you are evil, you suck up the black magic and you will become just as dark as him. I think Damien Darhk knows this. I think that's what was happening to Thea. I think Thea is naturally on the dark side because she was brought back to life. I think Damien is going to fill her with dark magic, and the finale is going to be Oliver versus evil Thea. Ooh. That's the finale.
And guys, if you watch the show, you know that 98% of things that Jason Inman says are correct. So more than likely, we're seeing Evil Thea, and I'm psyched
there you go.
about it.
So
Yeah.
Evil Thea, that'll wrap it up for this Collider Arrow recap show. Guys, don't forget to click subscribe and see all the awesome videos that Collider do, including the 57 new recap shows we just announced on this episode.
Yeah.
Which Macuga, I believe, is going to be hosting every single one
All
of
of them,
those.
guys. We
Every
got
single one.
CSI, we got SVU, we got NCIS. We're doing them all.
All the
Yeah.
Chicago's covered.
Every one of them.
And if you want to disagree or agree with us on Twitter, don't forget to talk to us using the hashtag Collider Arrow. Guys, let's announce where we can find ourselves, or they can find us, on the internet. Josh, where can they find you if they want to complain about mole people?
Guys, you can find me underground at Josh Macuga on Twitter and Instagram, my YouTube channel, The Josh Macuga Show, every Monday here on Collider doing TV Talk with the lovely Griffin, David Griffin.
Oh, lovely. No one calls me that.
David, where can they find you? The lovely David
You
Griffin.
can find me. I'm on another recap show. Not all the ones that we mentioned, even though I will be on all of those.
Jack of all trades?
Jack of all trades.
X-Files,
I'm also
Dave
on the
Files.
Flash recap show that every Tuesday, talking about the Flash. Also, of course, TV Talk with Josh Macuga and at GriffinDE on Twitter.
Michael.
Hey, guys. Tired of the same old social media accounts? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Same old. Come check me out on Twitter at Mr. Michael Alexis and on Instagram at Mr. Michael Alexis 14.
That was a terrible
But you
sale.
just told us.
I thought you were going to go like Twitch or
Yeah, you just
Snapchat.
told us that we were tired of Twitter and Facebook. And you were like, hey, check me out on Twitter and Facebook.
They don't have those in Genesis, Michael.
Yep. You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Jawin, Jawiin, on iTunes for my podcast, Geek History Lesson. And next week, I'll be breaking into the Earth 2 world of the Flash Collider Arrow recap Flash show. I don't know.
Are you tired of the same old recap shows?
We've introduced so many Collider recap shows. Can't keep it straight. But I'll be making a guest appearance on the Flash show this week.
right.
So that'll be our next week. That'll be really cool. So guys, don't forget, click subscribe, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Quick, let's cut to Josh Macuga so he can collar up.
I'm collaring up, guys.